So news reports are stating that R. Kelly suffered a overdose, I guess yesterday. Let's get into it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. This is from the independent.com and it reads, R. Kelly suffered an overdose of medications given to him by prison staff, his lawyers say. R. Kelly's attorneys were seeking his immediate release from prison and for him to be placed into home detention due to the alleged murder plot against the disgraced R&B star. Now, that story came out within the past week or so, and I didn't cover that or even look into it because it's just kind of coinkadinkle how this happens right after Tory Lanez gets stabbed up a few times in prison, and all of a sudden somebody's trying to take out R. Kelly. Makes you wonder, what does R. Kelly know? What kind of information he has out there? Who can he actually take out or ruin? I'm not sure, but he's been locked up for about 4 or 5 years. So why in the heck would he come out? Why would they be afraid that he's gonna put information out now? He could have did that, when he first got locked up. So like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I didn't take the story too seriously. They said they had some people that said, yeah, somebody hired me to take out R. Kelly or whatever, but for whatever reason, I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna get into this overdose story, and we're gonna see if we can figure out how this can happen with his medications, him overdosing on medications. I said the disgraced R&B star R. Kelly suffered an overdose of medications that were given to him by prison staff in North Carolina. His lawyer alleges in a new filing. Earlier this month, Kelly's attorney said that the singer needed to be pardoned by President Donald Trump as he was a target over an elaborate assassination plot involving a leader in a white supremacist prison gang. Now, why would they think that he would that President Trump would pardon him if a white supremacist was trying to take him out? I don't get it, because don't y'all say that he's racist and prejudiced and stuff? So why would he look out for you like that, right? I don't understand it. This latest filing comes as the federal prosecutors who put disgraced Kelly, 58, in prison for 30 years have slammed his attempts to gain a release as deeply unserious and repugnant. Just repugnant. The Grammy-winning, multi-platinum selling R&B songwriter was convicted in 2021 in Brooklyn federal court of multiple charges, including racketeering and sex trafficking. Widespread outrage over Kelly's sexual misconduct did not emerge until the Me Too reckoning, which reached a crescendo after the release of the documentary Surviving R. Kelly, which is crazy, man, because we all remember the P video. We know what it was. Back, was it early 2000, late 90s, early 2000s? The P videos where we all know that child was a minor. If not, that he just like grown women that's built like 12-year-old boys. I don't know. But we know it was a minor. They swore up and down. They couldn't tell. They couldn't authenticate when the video was made. They couldn't authenticate how old the child was, this, that, and the third, so they couldn't prosecute him. And then he was going out trying to celebrate, saying how he was not guilty and it was all lies and fabrication and this, that, and the third. But his history told a whole different story. I mean, you marry Aaliyah. Toure asked you a question: do you like teenage girls? And say, when you say teenage, how old are you talking? Like, dude, you freaking 30 years old, damn near 40. What are you talking about? How old when you come to teenagers? And they say he used to hang out at McDonald's that's across the street from my high school. You know what I'm saying? Hollering at little girls. Just things that he did that in matter of fact, they found what actually kept him out of prison at that time is that they found videos on his boat in Miami with like other P videos, I'll say, with other minors. And it was like clear cut, you know what I'm saying? Hit the gavel, slam the bar shut, case closed. He would have been found guilty. But because they didn't have a search warrant to grab those tapes, they couldn't use them. So he couldn't get prosecuted. He couldn't get tried in Florida. So the dude is like everybody know. I mean, people try to forget that. And then you got these sick women say, "Oh, he could have peed on me." And said that man. And you know what? I believe them. When women say stuff like that, I believe that they would have let R. Kelly do whatever he wanted to do if they were minors. You know how I believe that? Because I knew plenty of females growing up, little girls, when I was in junior high and high school, who had boyfriends in their 20s and 30s, who would brag about it at school, on the bus, at recess and stuff like that. So I believe they would have done it. So I mean, hey, a lot of these females have been sick for a long time. They don't just start when they get grown. They don't just say that mess just to be saying this. What they say is a little bit of truth in everything you say. So according to his lawyer, Kelly was put in solitary confinement on Juneteenth. Now, actually, I don't know why they can't. I mean, once the surviving R. Kelly came out, I think, the belief is once they feel they've made enough money off of you, or drug this out long enough, now they're gonna say, okay, y'all can go get them now. We're done with them, which is quite possible. What could possibly what happened? And some people say that might be far fetching, or conspiracy theory driven. But I mean, if you don't do nothing jacked up or do nothing wrong, they ain't got no. They don't say they got no way to, to even put you in that situation, right? To catch you in a situation like that. Anyway, back to the story. According to his lawyer, Kelly was put in solitary confinement on June 10th. He had with him his medications for anxiety. So they allowed him to take his medications with him. I guess he carried his bag of medications with him. I guess I don't know how the prison worked, but I guess when they transfer him, they give him all his belongings and walk him down to wherever they're going. I don't see why they why would they would do medications like that, because that could be medications can be dangerous. Medications are dangerous. They are dangerous, and they can be, if used the wrong way, can cause serious harm. On the same day, his lawyer says prison staff entered his room and directed him to take further medication. He complied. The filing seen by the Independent says that this interaction was captured on camera. So basically, what most likely happened is, because I go through this pretty much on a daily basis, when you present a medication to a patient or a resident or what have you, if usually most people, if they're in their right mind, and he's been in jail for 4 or 5 years, so he should know exactly what medication he's taking, what they look like, and when he needs to take them. Right? Most likely, it was if he complied, it had to have no. Like I say, if he get in his right mind, if he's in his right mind, he asked them, like, what is this? Why am I taking this? And they explained it to him. They say, hey, this is for so and so. He's like, I already took it. Well, they're like, the doctor said you need to take this too. Take it again. Now, what does it say? So if it's an anxiety medication, if he said he already took it, maybe they didn't think he had his medications with him, which he shouldn't have had. It should have been locked up or in the med room or the pharmacy or with the med nurse or whatever, but not in a patient's room or resident's room, especially in prison. So that don't make sense. They say he had it, but did they give it back to them, or did they take it back? If they didn't take it back, then how did he have his medication in the first place? So that is a facility error from Jump Street, incident report, if you will. And so he can say he took it. Maybe they didn't believe him, or maybe he didn't, or maybe he didn't tell him. Maybe he had taken it, didn't tell him, because one thing, like I said, a lot of these convicts, a lot of these patients will do is they will hide medication if they get the chance, and they won't let you know they have it. I can tell you many times working in a nursing home that residents get medications for pain, right? And people make the mistake of nurses make the mistake of giving them putting the medication down and walking out the room, because they trust in these people to take these medications. Y'all got the cool, y'all talk, y'all laugh in the hallway, this and the third. You've known these people for a while, having the medication, and then you feel like you put it down and they trust them. What these folks will do is they'll take their medication and pocket it. They'll put it in a drawer. Sometimes they'll put it in their mouth and drink the water, be like, yeah, it's gone. You walk out and it's under their tongue. So there'll be instructions to tell you to watch them take it, and then tell them to roll their tongue around and tell them that you cannot leave the room until they do so. And if they refuse to do it, you'll call somebody else in there to be a witness to what's going on, because they will do that. I've seen, like I say, residents, they'll do it. They'll pocket these like pain medications. And then next thing you know, somebody will go in their room and they'll say, hey, I was in the so-and-so room cleaning up and saw this under the pillow. It's like 2 or 3 Norcos, or is in a drawer, a bunch of pills in the drawer. Like they'll say they take them, they'll go in their room, and then you'll find pills. Sometimes they won't take pills. They won't take pills because they don't like the pills. But to have been in jail this long, he knows what he's taking. So like I said, sometimes he may have his anxiety medications and somehow they didn't know he had it, or the communication had lapsed, and it wasn't relayed to the next facility or the next pod that he went to. And so he ended up having the medication. He could probably have them and tried to hide them. So now he probably took them, knowing that if they come in there trying to give him medication, and it's like, if he says anything to the point that he's already taken them, they're gonna like, how you take them? It's not in the chart. And it's like, oh, so you have them. So now we're finna toss it. Now we're gonna have to toss his room, toss his cell, and see what they can find. And so he probably just went ahead and took him, like, oh my God, I hope nothing happened, but I can't tell. So he went and took him, and next thing you know, he felt dizzy, fell out. That's just one scenario. I mean, they're trying to do the scenario of conspiracy of they try to make him take the medication. And he said no, he don't want to take it. Because you can refuse, you can refuse to do anything. I don't give a damn if you're in prison or in the free world, nursing home, whatever. Somebody can give you medication, you don't have to take it. You don't have to take it. It just had to be documented, and you just keep going. But prisoners know what they want to take, what medications they do take, and how to take them. To the point to where I know now in some facilities they'll crush them. Well, and you ain't supposed to crush some medication. If it's an ER tab, what I mean ER like extended release. If it's like with a coating on it, you're not supposed to crush those. But sometimes these facilities do it, trying to say, hey, we're gonna crush it. So when we give it to them, we know they can't spit it out. But now you messing up the medication and the dosage, and that person can get enough medications to so quick that it could cause them to, feel funny, feel dizzy, lightheaded, fall out, stuff like that. Anyway, back to the story. It say on June 13th, Kelly reported that he felt faint. He was dizzy. He started to see black spots in his vision. The singer then lost consciousness and was rushed to Duke University Hospital. Man could have took pills without eating too. That might happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the dosage was just a little too much, or it could have been the wrong, either too much, too much of the wrong dose, same thing. And that's probably what happened. Kelly is quoted in the document as saying during his transfer, he heard a prison staffer say, this is going to open a new can of worms. Why? Because I believe he had his anxiety medications and they probably didn't know it. And they gave him some more, not knowing that he had already taken it. Either he had it and taken it, or he took it before he got to that room, and then once he got there, they gave it to him. Like I said, either communication or documentation fell through somewhere. And so this is how this happened. The filing goes on to say that Kelly spent 2 days being treated in the hospital. They gave him an amount of medication that could have killed him. I don't see how. He could have killed. I mean, because what you're talking about is, oh, wait a minute, I take it back. I do see how. Could have been the wrong dosage. Could have been the wrong dosage, because you got milligrams, micrograms, grams, and they could have read it wrong. I mean, it happens. That's why they want you to slow down. When you pass meds, you're supposed to slow down. Not supposed to be talking to nobody. Not supposed to be on your phone, listening to music, nothing. When especially you learn that in the hospital, man. They said when you in this med spot, you don't communicate, you don't interact with nobody, because you're passing meds, especially when you're doing narcotics, man, or anything that's strong, or controlled substance. Can't do it, because I remember one of my daughters was in the hospital one time, and they was going to give her like something like a Tylenol or something. I forgot what it was. And this was when I was this was like before my nursing days. She was like little, and the nurse or whoever come in there to give her the medication, and we looking at, my ex was a nurse at the time, so she looking at it, And she was like, "How much you giving them?" It's like a Tylenol. She said, "We're giving you such and such a dose." I said, "How much you giving them?" And the nurse was like, "Giving up." And she stopped and looked. She said, "Oh, wait a minute, I'll be back." And she left. It was like, let's say she was supposed to get like 30 milligrams, and she gave him like, she had like a 30 grams worth of, saying medications. Eh, that was just a little too much for a 5-year old or whatever. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just giving an example. I can't remember exactly what it was. But that's what I'm just saying. It could have been read wrong. But somewhere, that's why, I mean, somewhere a step was skipped when giving his medications, is pretty much what happened. So yeah, it probably could have killed him. And given the right circumstances, it said Kelly had allegedly not been receiving necessary treatment for blood clots in recent months. During his recent stay, doctors at Duke observed his legs and found clots that required surgery. His lawyer said that Kelly was quickly removed from the hospital after receiving a surgical consultation as the officers denied him surgery. Well, he probably wondered why the officers denied him that. Uh, they take orders from the prison. So if he needed surgery, there had to be a whole communication. There are a lot of steps you got to go through to approve the surgery right then and there. I mean, it's crazy. It don't make sense, but that's just how the system go. They try to keep these. What, that old boy? What was that dude? What was that? The couple that just got Trump pardon. I can't remember the name. God was the name. It's like on the tip of my tongue. Was a husband and wife. The dude looked like he kind of feminine and gay anyway, but he was saying how in the prison a lot of black folks get denied a lot of rights that he was given, and he was saying it's not right. And he said something about it. It wasn't a big uproar about it. Maybe it was in the news, maybe a day or two, and then just like today on June 17th, everybody has forgot about it. So yeah, I mean, it could be the situation. They probably saying, "Oh man, here we go again." But he's not getting his medications for blood clots. Why would he be getting blood clots? See, it's a lot. It's a lot you don't be knowing about people. People think you know about folk, but like, why would he be getting blood clots unless he, you know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother rat. That's another, like I said, another whole nother rabbit, can of worms or a rabbit hole to go down. Prosecutors argued that the judge who received the motion for Kelly's release lacks the authority to release the singer. The motion will be heard in a hearing on Friday. His lawyers are also seeking intervention with me from President Donald Trump. He said, "We are engaging in conversation with multiple persons close to the White House and to President Trump. My client does not have the luxury to wait for vindication from the court." Vindication? The boy, let's just get back. The dude is a pedophile, okay? Just remember that. He liked little girls. We've seen the tapes. The courts will follow the exposure of the corruption at the heart of his prosecutions, his lawyer said in a statement. Boy, I swear you be paying that lawyer good. The original filing includes a sworn declaration from the terminally ill inmate, Mikhail Glenn Stein, claiming that 3 high-ranking BOP officials asked him to carry out the murder while he was in custody at the United States Penitentiary in Tucson, Arizona. Terminally ill inmate. I can get into all kinds of conspiracies with that there. Stein, a self-identified member of the Aryan Brotherhood, claims the officials offer him the opportunity to escape custody and live out his final months as a free man in exchange for Kelly's murder. The filing further adds that once Stein was transferred to Kelly's unit in March, he was approached by one of the officials who allegedly told him, "You need to do what you came here for." What? Stein claims that after watching Kelly for a few months, he had a change of heart because before confessing to the singer his alleged murder plot. Kelly's attorney alleged that they were made aware in June of a second member of the Aryan Brotherhood whom officials directed to execute both Kelly and Stein. Interesting. Now that is an interesting story, like I say, but let's say facts is stranger than fiction. And you just never know what's real and what's fake. So, like I said, I didn't want to get into that story because that's one of them stories where if you come out and try to talk about it and try to have an opinion about it one way or another, it's quite possibly that the way you see it or what you believe uh, is not true. Because the truth to come out and you find out that maybe this dude is just, you know, is I don't know. He may have got paid by R. Kelly's people to say this because he's dying, and they probably promised to send his family a bunch of money, take care of his family if he say this. or if he, you know what I'm saying, if we say that this was supposed to happen. I mean, you just never know. Or it could be a government conspiracy, or it could be a P. Diddy conspiracy. Who knows? It could be somebody. Anything, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? Anything could happen. But I mean, it is what it is. Like I say, now that story, we'll keep an eye on it. And once like the facts and the total truth come out, then we'll probably talk about it. But with this medication story, it sounds like a medication error, wrong communication, lack of going through the steps of giving a patient the six rights, not document for sure, not document. Well, let's say if you don't document, it didn't happen. So I don't care if you did tell somebody. It's got to be a note somewhere. Everything that you do in the nursing or the medical field, you have to document it. Whether if you talk to somebody or you do something to somebody or do something for somebody or with somebody, there needs to be a documentation. If you tell somebody they need to take a medication and they refuse to take it, then you document that they refuse to take it. If you give somebody medications and they take it, you document that they took it and that you witnessed them, open their mouth, roll their tongue around, pill was gone, and then so then you go on to the next person. Time consuming. Sometimes it's like it feels like it's just mundane. It's unnecessary. You feel like it's unnecessary, but it's necessary because of something like this happened. You don't want to be the link that was missing in the chain that caused something like this to happen, because it's gonna fall back on somebody. Somebody gonna lose their license, and it won't be the doctors, and it won't be prison staff. It's gonna be the medical staff. That's just what that is. But anyhow, we'll see how this turns out. Uh, Tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those four things cost you maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here at the channel. Now, if you would like to support us financially, you can always give a super thanks, super chat, super stickers, and you can go to the description box. There are a couple of links there you can click on to help support the channel that way. Now, if you would like something tangible for your dollars, which a lot of people do, you can go to marlonmorale.com. You can hit our Shopify store. Both links are also in the description box, or you can just simply hit the shop button below and check out all our luxury items.